Hey there, McAllister with Toast DIY, and you may be wondering what a Wikipedia game is, and I'm not referring to those speed runs where you try to go from like Minecraft to like Shaquille O'Neal and see how quickly you can get between the articles. I'm talking about games that are so dense or difficult that a lot of them have developed their own wikis just to be able to keep up with it and to optimize. So what are these types of games? Just off the top of my head, I'll name some that I think are pretty good for wikis. Like Dragon's Dogma is one where if you really want to succeed in that game on your first playthrough, you're going to need the wiki. If you want to do really well on your first run through of Dark Souls, you probably want to use the wiki, especially if you want to complete side quests of the actual different NPCs. There are games like Terraria where there's just so many items that you might need the wiki in order to narrow them down. There are games like Kenshi, which are just so difficult and hard to navigate that to try to find ancient science, you'll probably have to die 100 times unless you know generally how to find them. Games like that I just think are super unique in the fact there's dedicated communities going through the difficult portions of the game, creating guides, creating references, and creating info dumps that you can go and read about in order to, enhance your experience of the game. Because the main thing about these Wikipedia games is that you can master them to a sense. The issue I think that we get in a lot of games today is that so many of them are player versus player, and that's so popular. Like Fortnite, you've got pretty much any battle royale game, right? It's PvP, and at some point you either don't have the time or don't have the skill to keep improving, but you still want to play and win with your friends. So the issue I get to is I get on, I don't want to play bots, but I want to win Fortnite, but I don't want to practice. So I kind of hit this wall. But in these Wikipedia games, it's the knowledge, the info. As long as I keep climbing, I'll have it. If you played RuneScape, it's like learning about how to safe spot or beat special enemies by knowing how to perflick and game mechanics. Because when you're fighting the monsters, they're bound by code. And so if you know that code, you can defeat any single one of them. I think that's what makes it so impressive when there are games that are incredibly hard like Dark Souls out there and people do, zero hit runs from Dark Souls all the way through to the end of Elden Ring and never take a single hit. It's because they've mastered these game mechanics. That's just so cool to me. And these Wikipedia games are a perfect place where you can really dive in there. If you've ever played a mod pack from Minecraft before, and you're like, what is Botania? Or what is Ars Magica? Or Technic? You probably got onto the Wikipedia and started going down the rabbit hole of, okay, to get a blast furnace, you need a coke furnace. To get a coke furnace, you need the masher. And to get the masher, you need flint and steel. So on and so forth. These games, I just think it's fun because it's like the act of learning, but enjoyable because you're seeing the reward. It's not like math class where you ask, when am I going to use this? And they say, to pass my class. You're like, when am I going to use this? Well, in 20 minutes, it's going to make my life a lot easier. I'll no longer have to mine because I have an automatic miner set up. Well, then you go to set it up, and that thing's got a weird debug screen because the mod maker thought it'd be cool, and now you're having to learn how to do that. And I think that's fun. I think that the grabbing of a string and pulling at it till you can find the end of it is really awesome. And I find that's what you do a lot of times when you hop on the Wikipedia article. You're like, where do I find ancient technology? Ancient technology is in research stations. What are research stations? Research stations were left in the old war by so-and-so. You can find them in X areas. Okay, X area, click, and then it takes you to the next one. I think I remember recently with Risk of Rain going through and just being like 8 tabs deep trying to figure out exactly how to get to the final boss from the new Void DLC. And I just think that's super cool because there's just so many steps and whatnot. It harkens back to the time of your friends telling you they found the next step in the Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg. You'd be like, no way. They bring you on there. It's like, apparently they think this is a piano. And if you shoot them, ding, 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 ding. Or learning how to do that, the Pigpen cipher in the Buried Alive map in Call of Duty. I just think that is so cool when people get together and start compiling knowledge to optimize. And so I'd encourage that if you've ever had interest in school or thought that school was boring, but you liked learning, like you still are a lifelong person who enjoys to just pick up something and try to see if you can't digest as much as you can. I think that Wikipedia games are the style. So when you see a game that looks really difficult, like maybe Song of Six, if you like city builders, that's a really cool fantasy one. And I've had a lot of trouble trying to win it. If you like smaller city builders, then maybe try RimWorld. There's a bunch of DLC on it now, and I'm sure there's a ton of Wikipedia articles telling you about how to optimize. If you're more into like mechanics and factory games, try Factorio. That game's great, and it's got a lot of mods that you might want to install and take a peek at. If you like more survival, Minecraft, Terraria is a good one. or there's obviously Minecraft mod packs. These are all great options for these. Or if you want the best one, play Kenshi. Kenshi is my favorite game out of these different Wikipedia games, because no matter how much I play it, whenever I come back, I usually try a different playthrough and I end up looking up a new thing. Like, I think my next one will be trying to grow as much hash as possible and finding out where we'll actually buy my hash without getting attacked by swamp ninjas. I don't know. That game is pretty crazy. If you have any good Wikipedia game recommendations, leave them down below. This is just a genre of game that I really enjoy. I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV a lot, and seeing that I have to go to the Wikipedia a lot to find out like where to get these leva quests or where to best do the job order, different things. Like, I'm just going on there to find out and learn things, and I just think that that is really cool when there's so much in a game. The developers have put in so much love and so much care, or just so much time, that now even the deciphering of the game is part of the enjoyment of it. So yeah, leave any down below that you think you like. If you have any questions about this kind of genre game or more questions about good ones, feel free to ask, and I'll talk about ones that I enjoy. I'll try my best to be down in the comments, and I appreciate you all. Have a good one. Peace.